What's going on, MGTOW Nation, Red Pill Nation, Black Pill Nation? This is Renegade #1, aka the Feminist Killer, #Logitorium. I want to make a video about men mastering their desires. And there's a list of desires, but I'm going to try to keep it short. This might be a long video. I hope it's not. But anyway, mastering your desires is the key to you being mentally free. The thing is, if you're going to be black pilled, if you're going to call yourself black pilled, you're transforming yourself. You understand? As a black pillar, you are neutralizing your humanity. Part of what, I'm going to be honest, part of what makes us human is having the desires. But we understand the price that comes with chasing your desires. Once you become infatuated with desires, you become a zombie. You become a machine. You'll do anything to possess those desires. Desires, our own human desires, are drugs, and we will do anything to get that drug. Think about it, like a dope fiend trying to get his next fix, like an alcoholic trying to get his next drink. They will do anything. They don't care about the circumstances or the measures. They don't have any regard of it. They'll do anything to possess. The same thing with human desires. Specifically, let's talk about lust. Lust for a man is his kryptonite. Obviously, the most dangerous thing to a man is a seductive female. As a man, I go through it. As a man, you guys go through it. And part of you converting from this simulation to the actualization that you want to see, black pill to red pill, you have to master these things, understanding that you will be in a test. Every day is a test. Every day is an incessant battle, right? There's always a woman trying to get you off guard, get you to play her game, get you to thirst after her, get you off track, right? A man who's focused and zeroed in on himself and his brothers and for future improvements. A woman wants to come in and she wants to be a part of that. She wants to get you to be like every other guy. Thirsty, aimless, thinking with your dick. That's not the way you need to think. You have to, if you're trying to convert yourself to a monk, or if you're trying to, clean your life up, right now you're reckless with your dick and shit, you have to realize that you're going to be tested every day. You may go out to the gym, you may go out to the gas station, you may go to a grocery store, you may be at work. Women will always test you because they're always going to seduce you. They're going to get in your personal space. These are things you have to be aware of. And the thing is, it's easier said than done. That's why you have to practice. You have to understand how your body as a male works. You understand if you're around a woman for too long, and if you're looking at her for too long, you're looking at her ass, you're looking at her, her boobs, her face, you get a hard dick, right? If you are around women in general, you can't focus because, again, women are distractions. She's a distraction to you. She's going to throw you off course. So that's you have to read that. You have to understand that. So try to be aware of, if there's a lot of women around, try not to be in that vicinity. And in other aspects of lust is not just a sexual desire. Lust is just a desire for something. That's what lust is. A lot of people think, lust is just sex. It's not just sex. Food. You're lusting after food. The food that you eat plays a factor into how you think. So if you're lusting after junk food and stuff like that, you have to master that stuff. Lusting after materialism, that's a form of that's something that can lead to destruction. That's something that can lead to you being a slave. You're only a slave if you allow yourself to think like that. You can't allow anybody to slave you unless you allow them to. Let me see, what else for lust? Yeah, that's pretty much it for lust as far as that is concerned. The next thing that a man has to understand that can be a kryptonite for him is the ego, right? What do we think about when we think of the ego? Obviously, the ego is a representation of our self-confidence. It's us. It's your inner self. It's your mind. It's your self-esteem. That's what the ego is. Everybody has one. You understand? And you have to get rid of it. Your ego can prevent you from actually having that growth. Your ego can keep you in the matrix. It really can. It can keep you blue pilled. You understand? You don't want to have an ego. A lot of men are ashamed of, going their own way or going to be black pilled because they're afraid of how people may perceive them. It takes a beating on their ego. You understand? And I think as a man, me personally, like I said numerous times, I don't have an ego. I refuse to have an ego. It's not going to suit me. If you allow your pride to dictate your thinking, you will never learn. You'll never really grow because you think you know it all. You're focused on, how you look. You're focused on how to build yourself. I think as a man, you have to throw the ego away. You have to throw the ego away. Fuck everybody else. Another aspect that a man must conquer that can also be his kryptonite, it kind of ties into the ego. Power. Dealing with money, dealing with being put on a pedestal. How do you handle success? These are questions you have to ask yourself. How do you handle success? Do you get cocky? Do you get arrogant when people say, hey, you're an intelligent brother? Does that go to your head? If somebody says, oh, you look sexy, you got a beautiful face and all this stuff, does that change your thinking? Do you count on people to build you up? And I think as a man, I'm telling you, based off my experiences and how the mind works, if you rely on people who are, providing the criticism, positive or negative, you will always be controlled. People will always control you because you're too busy listening to what they're saying. You understand? You just have to, ultimately, you can't worry about that. You cannot worry about, people giving you all of that, they're gassing you up. You can't worry about that. Another thing that we need to understand about power is power can destroy you if you allow it. A lot of people lose their soul. Like I was talking with a brother a few days ago, and I just asked him a random question. If you became a millionaire tomorrow, do you think you'll still be the same person? He was honest with me. He said no, he would change. He would become, and I said, how would you change? He would become more arrogant. His ego would increase a little bit. And that goes for me too. I think though I believe I would be the same person, even with a lot of money, I probably wouldn't, because When people see power, they treat you different. They're nicer to you. Girls want to fuck you even more. And you have to remember this one thing when it comes to having power. Remember how people treated you before you got the power. And a lot of guys, you know, obviously with the inflated ego, they would say, oh, you're just hating on me. Why can't you be happy for me? You know, but the fact of the matter is they don't want to admit that they've changed for the worse. They don't want to admit that there are soul snatchers out here. Soul snatchers. That's what I call people who want to take your soul. Money is a recipe, and I don't care what anybody says. A man who has a lot of money, or you know, a person who's gaining social status, they typically lose themselves because they're caught up with the hype. They lost their soul. You know, understand? They become another they become a slave to their desires. They become a slave to the notoriety. They become flashy. They become fascinated with the lights, being in the spotlight all the time. They become a diva, ultimately. Another weakness for a man that he must neutralize is jealousy. If you are a man who tries to put another man down because you despise him because his life is better than yours, it appears to be that way. You need to get that insecurity out of you. We are all men. At the end of the day, we are all human beings. Whether you have money, whether you have a nice body, that's not, to me, that doesn't make you superior or inferior. You know? And I think mentally weak people get jealous. Mentally weak people have a lack of self-security. They're not secure in themselves. They feel like if they don't have, you know, the top of the line materials that this degenerate society worships, they're nothing. You understand? Instead of finding, you know, their actual selves, they feel like they need to be like the next man. They feel like they need to be better than the next man. You understand? Jealousy will lead you to a destructive place. I'm not a religious person, but you know, me observing human nature, I realize a jealous man will find himself in a dangerous situation. Period. Don't be jealous. What do you got to be jealous for? You don't need to hate on nobody. I'll say this. Once you remove the desire to even strive for anything, you won't even be jealous anymore. I have guys, you know, try to front on me with things. They try to front on me with the type of car they have, with all the amount of money they have, the type of women they have sleep with. I don't get fazed by those things. That's how only a fool tries to make another man jealous of him. That's a man that doesn't care about men. He wants to down you. You know, and I think we as men, we don't need to be doing that to each other. It's not appropriate. You understand? So that's something that we got to get under control. Another thing that a man needs to overcome is his acceptance. Stop trying to, the desire for approval. That's what acceptance is. Stop trying to get validation. Stop trying to get people to like you. Before you're born into this world, there's already a large quantity of people that don't like you. They don't even fucking know you yet. So there's gonna be people that like you, and there's gonna be people that don't like you. That's the end of the day. There's people that make nasty comments towards me. I can't do nothing about it. You understand? This comes with knowing who you are as a person, being real with yourself. You know, you're going to lose your soul trying to impress somebody else. You're losing your energy trying to impress somebody else. If you're a guy, you know, oh, I'm trying to get this girl to like me. I'm trying to get this girl to accept me. I'm trying to get, you know, the homies to like me. I'm trying to be a man. I'm trying to be, you know, cool. I don't want to be weak. You know, I want them to see me as this tough guy. That's not, you're going to be someone else that's not, you're trying to be something that you're not, only to be accepted. And that's the mass majority of the people in the world. That's what makes most people blue pill. Most people will believe a lie only to be accepted. Acceptance, you know, the desire for approval will keep you blinded. That's what makes me and us as, you know, the MGTOW nation, we go against the grain. We can care less about acceptance. I have no friends. I have no family besides you guys. You want to know why I don't have nobody? Because I don't care about acceptance. In order to get acceptance, in order to get approval, you have to conform. And, you know, these desires and, you know, the things that I'm breaking down in the video, these are all blue pill traits, by the way. These things ultimately keep you embedded in the simulation. They keep you plugged in. They keep you being mindless. You understand? We are the only ones that have a brain. We are the only ones that are not afraid of the consequences. I know I'm not. Once you master the suffering, nothing can stop you. You have nothing to lose. You are already suffering. That's why I've been using it a lot lately. Master your suffering. Master that shit. Don't be afraid to be alone. Don't be afraid of not having sex. Don't be afraid of not having money. If you are afraid of those things, people do all, and this is why I say, people do a lot of things out of fear. A man is afraid to quit his job because he fears he will lose everything. You understand? A man may be afraid of speaking his mind because he believes he won't have any friends. He's afraid of being alone. You make the best out of your suffering. That's all you got to do. Next thing I want to talk about is idealism. Idealism, which basically means the desire for perfection, the desire for social justice. This world is going to be unorganized regardless of what we do. We can't control the 8 billion people that currently live on this planet. We can't. There's no point in even trying to make this world perfect. You can't. There's never going to be justice. That's something that you have to accept. That's something that you're going to have to digest, man. It's hard. And I just recently talked about this. Social contact. You're giving up social contact. I haven't spoke with a person physically in at least 5 days. Been by myself. Go to the gym late at night where there's nobody there. Go to the grocery store late at night when there's nobody there. I get my gas late at night when there's nobody there. I haven't spoke with anybody physically. I only talk to brothers that are on the red pill ideology or the black pill ideology. Period. You understand? But ultimately, if you can live your life without your desires, oh, you won't be a slave. That's what I want you guys to understand. But that's pretty much it, man. This is Renegade #1. Like the video, share, subscribe. Peace.